Hello and happy 2023. I picked this song on purpose. It's 2023 and I'm feeling good. I've been waiting for this year. I hope you guys are excited. I see people loading in oh wow, we are blowing up today, guys. Annie White, fantastic. Amazing. So good to see you all. Wow, Fatima's here. Fran, hi, Fran. Great to see you back from my Weight Watchers days. Give us a big hello in the chat and let us know what your 3 words are for 2023 as we get started. I wore my polka dots because I am feeling good. I've got my little angel necklace on for y'all today because it's going to be an amazing year. And I love seeing all these names. So happy to meet you. I am Liz Josephsberg. We've got a lot of new folks here, and we're going to be having an incredible roundtable today with some amazing people. So get ready. Let's have a little dance party before we go. Yeah. Look in the mirror, I'm like, who the hell is he? Dance it out. Ha. Letting everybody come in. Woo, I love it. Terry, balance, consistency, and habit. All right. Woo! All right, Fran, I love it. Guys, I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm going to give you a little information about who I am and what we're doing here today, but you should leave after these sort of 45 minutes feeling so ready to just jump into 2023 and have such an amazing year. I have been waiting for this year. I am a huge Michael Jordan fan from the time I was young. I grew up in Chicago, and Michael Jordan, I was in college in the years that he, now I'm dating myself, aren't I? I was in college in the years that he was, yay, go Bulls! He was winning and was such an inspiration to me about how he would dig deep and he would go past where even he thought he could go. So 23 was his number. 23 is the year, and I am so excited for my personal growth is to go beyond where I thought I could go. So I want you to, think about what your 3 words are. I'm seeing these amazing things in the chat. Put it up. What are your 3 grounding words for this year? And if you don't have them, maybe by the end of this webinar, you're going to kind of have them, because I've got some real thoughts for you, some new brain science, and some new ways to get you all excited. So I am Liz Josephsberg. I'm going to be sharing some information, sharing my screen, but also you have these incredible coaches who are here with me. Basically, you've got David Josephsberg, and yes, he does have the same last name as me. He is my husband and the original T100 rock star and coach. We also think of him as our stress expert because he has been certified in breath work. He's also a certified personal trainer, a health coach, and a Broadway actor on top of it all. And he is here today to share tips around stress reduction and motivation and just amplify your 2023. What do you want to share? I put you on the spot.
No, I'm very excited to be here. Yeah, I was here from the very beginning on the couch when Lizzie was creating Target 100, and it's so exciting to see how it's become. And I've taught the beginner's course 5 or 6 times, and a lot of what we're going to talk about today really comes down for me when I'm in my one-on-ones with people is it comes down to stress. So that's where I'm starting my new year, starting with a little bit of stress relief, not putting all the pressure on to do everything perfectly. As Lizzie said, I'm also a Broadway actor. So I have 1 more week of my show. And so there's the last day of the show, and I might share a glass of champagne with everybody. But I want to not drink for the whole, at least for the beginning of the last year, I didn't drink for 4 months. So what I'm going to do is still maybe have that and not think I'm off and now I'm going crazy.
Love it.
So many tips, so many tricks. Do you want to keep going or just quick tips?
No, introduce Michelle as well. And Michelle, yeah, Michelle is an incredible coach here at Target 100. And I guess what I do want to say before we even go any further is that, every single person that is a coach here at Target 100 is someone who had a weight issue in their lives. So as we sit here today, there isn't anyone that you're going to be hearing from who doesn't understand where you're sitting right now as we face down maybe some weight loss that, we picked up during the pandemic, or, we've all been there. And we really, really want for you to understand that we understand where you are, and we want to teach you what lasting and consistent and true weight loss looks like. So, Michelle Lipscomb is here, and so excited that she is our newest coach. But wow, what a journey. You've had a weight journey all your life, but most importantly, so now you are a certified personal trainer and you are a health coach and you have coached for many years. But most exciting, and so proud of you, this past year, after all of that, Michelle actually turned pro bodybuilding. So she is actually our expert in lifting heavy things, which is really important for us. So just wanting, Michelle, please introduce yourself, and then I'll bring Ashanti Johnson on as well.
All right. Hi, you guys. Again, as Liz said, my name is Coach Michelle. I am so excited for this year and to be able to spend it with a lot of you guys again. Spent a lot of my first year with you guys that will be returning with us for some of our programs. And then also for those of you who are new, Liz, I've been at this for a long time, and what keeps me in it is that I finally figured it out. People are like, how do you do it? Is it determination? Is it motivation? No, because those things are fleeting. They come and go. They're like, they're real slippery, right? I actually love the journey. I actually love finding out what will happen if I try this, or if I do that, or what happened when I did this, right? I love the failing part. I love the not so successful parts, because that drives me like, okay, that didn't work, didn't like that, wasn't for me, or didn't really work for me, body didn't respond, it didn't work with my schedule, so what can? So I enjoy the journey. That's why I tell people that's how you enjoy the process. And don't be scared or afraid to fail, because that's why a lot of us don't even try, because we failed and we haven't had success. So who wants to look failure in the face and feel like, man, I couldn't do it again, right? Yeah. But think of the flip side of that, in that I can find another way. There is another way. There is a better way. There's a way that's best for me.
Yes.
So that's how I look at it.
So many chills from that, Michelle. I wrote this down, guys. If we can do anything to help you love the journey. I mean, we had such fun this year with the ad campaign that came out from us and it was all around January doesn't have to suck. Because there are a lot of people sitting at home right now staring down a restrictive, scary, unhappy next 30, 40 days of their lives. And they're going to try to lose some weight really quick, right? They're going to shed like 7-10 pounds in 1 month, but it's unrealistic and unsustainable, and you hate your life, and you don't really learn from it because you didn't really take the journey. You just allowed someone else to tell you what to do. Whereas here at Target 100, we're all about the tools to help you create and love your journey. So thank you, Michelle. And now we have Ashanti here with us as well. The round table is complete. It's so great to see you. Happy New Year. And Ashanti is, another incredible rock star who's been, our founding T100 coach. All three of these guys really foundational. And Ashanti not only is a personal trainer and owns a gym in Chicago and had her own weight journey like the rest of us, but you have a real incredible gift for helping people understand visualization. She even has her own TED Talk on visualization. So Ashanti comes at us with another expertise. So we have stress, we have lifting heavy things, we have visualization, and then all of these people understand where you are and what it feels like to carry weight. So Ashanti, what are you feeling today, and what do you want to share as your intro?
I'm feeling pumped up. I gotta say, I'm feeling really, really good. Speaking of visualization and all that good stuff, I have fallen off of my meditation practice last 2022, let's just say. And yesterday I started it back and I had to sit down for 2 hours just to let my mind calm down and finally fall into it. So it told me how far I've gotten away from it, but I feel so much better since I've done that. I actually taught a 8 a.m. and a 9 a.m. class. I'm in Chicago, guys. Shout out to all the Central people on the call. And so I literally ran home, took a shower, and then raced into this call. So I'm so happy to be here, you guys. I am ready for 2023. I've set my intention. I've done my work. I've done my journaling. I got my vision together, like all the things. So I'm ready to go. Yes, with the vision board. Yes, David. So yeah. So, everything that Michelle said is so perfect, right? Like the journey, A to B. Everybody wants to like hologram themselves. What is it? Teleport themselves to be, right? But then we skip over the process, and the process is where all of your learning is going to happen. The process is where you decide, like, I am never going back there again. You can tell the difference between what it was versus what it is. Like, that was my meditation moment, right? Like, oh my God, why did I stop doing this? Like, and that's where the power is. And that's what tethers you to the goal and staying there. That's sustained. That's what we all want, right? Consistency. So the process is everything. Make it small. Like, you guys, this program is so foundational to everything. I've owned my gym for 14 years. Michelle's been rocking with me for 10 years. I've been with Liz for only like 2 years. And everything that this woman says has been my experience with thousands of people, all walks of life, all socioeconomical situations, all advanced fitness people, all the way down to just starting off. Like, everybody, these principles are key. So I'm pumped up and I'm ready to go.
Okay. I think that's a great place for us to start, you guys, around the fact that failure is not failure. Like, that was my learning. That was my journey last year, was like coming face to face with what I perceived to be a great failure in my own life or in my own, experience, and looking right at it and going, oh no, that was the great teacher. That was the great growth moment. And that it was so wonderful to see failure as this fabulous part of the fabric of my life. And the word, I don't even want that word in my life, because it doesn't speak for what it is to come face to face and drop your perception, your expectation around things. And if I could hand one thing to everyone who's sitting here, it's please drop your expectations around this process. Stop comparing it to your past. Stop projecting it into your future, and be right in this moment hearing us, right? Like, it's so important that you stop creating expectation, because that does make you perceive it as good or bad, as failure or success. And my big learning that I went through last year, I kept perceiving it one way. And when I stopped that, and when I dropped it, and when I got in the moment, when I started to really understand that I was telling a story about something and it wasn't even true, and that I could stop in that moment and tell a new story. So it's just really important for you guys to understand this process in a new way. That's everything that Target 100 wants to share with you, is that you've been conditioned by an industry. And I was a part of the industry, guys. For many of you guys who don't know, I was at Weight Watchers for 11 years. I worked for Lifetime Fitness. I've worked all over the world in weight loss. And that the system wants to set expectation for you so that you can come in and believe some story that isn't happening now. And there's no real substance to that story. And there's no real tools there. There's only just a food plan that is meaningless to you in a life that is so complex And we want to hand the tools to you around that. So I'm hoping that you guys will hear me and really be open this year to doing it differently. So that's my message. Anyone else have something that sparked? Yeah, David.
Just quickly on that subject, because it's coming full circle about you talking about Michael Jordan and you're the 2023, which is that everyone knows Michael Jordan is this guy who won 6 championships. This isn't planned, by the way. And that he made all the clutch shots. But what he also did was miss more shots than anybody else. So taking imperfect action towards your goals, which also leads me into not getting stuck in the I can'ts and setting. It's great to set these amazing big giant goals instead of setting these little small ones where you can probably just get to it. And because it's not about the goal, it's about the growth. So I just think those are 2 huge motivators for me next year. I started doing push-ups towards the end of the show as I'm coming down to the end. We're adding one every single day. And I thought, I can't possibly do these. And we discussed how, like, we'll take a pause, and all of a sudden, what I thought originally was impossible then became possible. So set goals, but talk about the growth.
A great story, right? What was the number? It was like you wanted to get to 50, right?
So, well, we wanted to get to 50, and then we started going higher than 50, but we would usually take a pause at a certain point. And then, so we're up to about, tomorrow will be about 61. And now, when we thought 50 was impossible, now we take our break at 50. And we're like, wow. But before, what we thought we couldn't possibly do, now that's the break point for 61. So sometimes it's better to have these big goals, but not need to get to the expectation of getting to them, but just living in the moment and the growth of you getting stronger and stronger.
I love the brain science here, though, also, guys, right? Around you having something that you perceive as impossible. Do you really think you're going to take action on something that you perceive as impossible, right? So being able to kind of pull that back and say, I'm going to take a break here. We talk a lot about plateaus or weeks that we don't lose weight, and people want to take that as like some negative. And I'm like, this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. This is your pause so that you can reassess and realign and then be able to take that next one push-up next week, right? So very cool. Awesome. Michelle, Ashanti, anything sparking for you guys?
Yeah, I would just say, just again, keep it small. I was talking to a woman at a New Year's party that was at, and she was fascinated with not only fitness, but the brain science that we work on. And she was like, I just feel like I need all of that. Like, where do I start? I just want to do all of it. And I was just like, well, this is what we do, right? We do all of it. We buy the new tennis shoes, we join the gym, we sign up for 1 billion classes or make these promises to ourselves to run every day, right? We go to the grocery store and buy all this food that we don't, and then we do it for like a day, right? Or we think about it for a couple of days, and then, and I said, just for the month of January, let's just drink more water. And let's just start there. And then we can take the next step. But until we kind of master something, it's going to be very difficult to add on. So just make things small and slow and steady, because we want to get to mastery and then add something so that it all doesn't fall apart as we're trying to do more, because there's always something new to do when it comes to
there is. That's the other thing. I think the mastery, and we're going to talk a little bit about habit formation and what that looks like and how we kind of approach weight loss. It's really important to understand the mastery is of routine and habit formation. It's not a mastery of a food list or of a restriction or of a saying no or of a X, Y, or Z. It's a mastery around what habit or behavior is standing in my way right now. And I've had people tell me things like, their phone. They get up and they look at their phone and then they scroll and then they end up staying in bed for 25 minutes longer than they expected to. And that is the habit that if they could change that, they would reclaim 25 minutes of their day. They'd have time to make their breakfast, not rush out the door, missing breakfast, overeating at lunch, right? So we're going to really dig in on what it looks like to learn how to examine your own behavior and make those adjustments that are much more impactful and don't have to be extremes, but have such big payoffs. And so Ashanti's example of water is incredible, because what you don't understand about that is the cascade effect of being hydrated. You don't eat as much, you have more energy, your skin looks great, you start to feel sort of like, wow, something's different. I get momentum from that one small change versus when I jump up here and go, like I have that chapter in my book that everyone laughs about the lady in the grocery store with this cart full of like kale and quinoa and like things she can't pronounce, but she bought them and she bought this book and she was going to follow this thing. And, you know, she's jumping here. She doesn't even know how to prepare that food. So when she gets home and she's tired and she has nothing left in the tank, do you really think she's going to like now whip out the pots and pans and make quinoa and figure that out? No. So we have to learn how to make a plan that fits our life, that is food that we love to eat, that are movements that we like to make. Exercise, I'm sure you see it at the gym. People like certain classes or, you know, do certain things. We must find a journey that we love, like Michelle said. How about you, Michelle? What's this?
Yeah, and another thing, I think that we just live in a world where we always think more is better. Right? You have more, like if I have more money, right, it'll solve everything. So if I have this like elaborate plan of I'm going to do this, and this, like Ashanti said, like just you start to overwhelm yourself. And then here comes that I didn't make good on any of this. Then you find yourself with all these distractions, right, of why you didn't get it done, why you couldn't get through this list, or making these, you know, elaborate boards of everything that's going to happen this year. When sometimes just simple is better. More isn't always the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
You just overload your brain with all that stuff.
Yeah. Even when you said that, I kind of cringed at the thought, like, wait, what do you mean? Like my brain was like, yeah, more money is more better and more, I want to do everything on my, right? Like our brain, it's just like, why, you're so right. It's wired that way. And even the thought to step back. So even though we know simple is better, it's hard to kind of latch onto that in a very real way.
I love it. I love seeing you make that realization. And I think it goes back to David and the stress pillar, right? So for those of you guys who are kind of new to Target 100, we have 6 pillars. And, you know, those 6 pillars are, of course, nutrition and exercise, but then hydration, movement. So your everyday movements, your stress and your sleep. And I've always said, like, stress is probably the magic key, in that, like, when we do the more is more, we just get to a place where we're stressed. And stress releases all these hormones and it puts us in a place of decision fatigue and inability to actually make good decisions. There's brain science, guys, around the fact that if you put yourself in a stress state, you actually begin to make riskier decisions in your life. We can see it, riskier decisions with money, with, you know, with food, with alcohol, with drugs, with everything, gambling, with all of those things. The brain says, you know, I can't compute. I need something to release serotonin to help me relax. And the easiest things are these foods and these alcohol and the gambling and the, you know, all of that. So it comes to this spot of like stress being this power pillar, you guys. And if that was something you were able to focus on this year, I mean, David and I did breath work yesterday. David's a breath work instructor. We do it. I do it as often as I can. Try to do it weekly, if not, you know, a couple times a month, because it's a good hour of, you know, just detoxing and reconnecting with yourself. But outside of that, I mean, so many things that we find as stress relief. Yeah.
Just quickly on that, after the breath work, I realized this, which is we were talking simplicity and making things simple, right? And that's really basically, it's not a magic pill. It's quieting those voices from your past, from all the diets, from all these different things, and allows you to connect to your truth so that you can do the things that you want. Because yes, you can drink alcohol and you can eat all the food to calm you. Or but does that lead you to what you truly want in life, to the things that bring you joy and to the things that you love to do? That's self medication, or do we try self care, which is a little more difficult, right? It's easy to stuff our faces with one of my favorite cookies, yellow fudge cookies, yellow fudge cookies. But this takes a little. It simplifies things because it allows you to hear the voice from here rather than this that's built on your past.
Well, and that's why I called it Target 100, the world's simplest weight loss program. I was trying, I mean, guys, I sat behind the curtain in every research project for 20 years, listening to the consumer beg for simplicity. And, I think it's really important to go there. And I think as we share tools today, I was thinking about the tool that I would want for everyone to really focus on is a worksheet that doesn't live in the book. And it actually was created after the book was written. So we have many, many worksheets in our courses that were created outside of the book. And probably my favorite worksheet is called the Next 24. And really all it asks you to do is think about the next 24 hours of your life versus, right? So we have these overarching goals, and maybe the goal is to lose weight, and that's great, but you got to think about how you're going to navigate through just the next 24 hours. Like, are you working out? Are you making breakfast? Are you bringing lunch to work? Do you have to go somewhere tomorrow night? Like, just thinking through, it usually takes me less than 5 minutes to kind of map out what my day looks like and where the kids need to go and what my responsibilities are and when I want to, what my workout is and what my meals are. And it helps me just say, I know. And it's not like I stick to it, like, because our famous thing here at Target 100 is to get a B, right? We've got stickers and everything. It's like, it's not that I'm going to stick to that next 24 hours perfectly, right? But I've created what's called, yes, mental rehearsal. And mental rehearsal, like back to Michael Jordan, people who mentally rehearse what something looks like, and he would mentally rehearse his free throws, not even doing them. He's not on the court. He's just imagining in his mind what it looks like and what it feels like. That mental rehearsal actually leads to more success. So by me just taking 5 minutes and rehearsing what my day looks like tomorrow, I actually have a much greater opportunity to make that happen. So that's one of those tools I really want people to think about as we go into this year is, could you create that habit of just thinking through the next 24 hours of your life? What else, guys? Tips that you would share as things that you would hope that this would ground people as they go into this year? Yeah, David. Oh, you were raising your hand, or was
no, I was just typing to everyone to throw a B in the chat if you're ready to be kind to yourself this year. I didn't have. Yes. I guess kindness is something, right? Yeah. Preparation is always hugely key for me. Little tips and tricks, starting small, not having to make it be, as we said, patience, as we said before, not being all in or all out because it's just too scary. Sue Manning is triple B ready. Triple B. Oh my God, Sue Manning. I'm seeing so many of my big success stories here. Sue Manning. Guys, if you've had success on Target 100, just share it in the chat because we have so many new people that are here today. And I just want people to know that it really, really, really works to approach this process in this totally new way, and to think of it from habit formation and brain science and true tactical experiential. So just really, if you've had success, just share. Yes, Fatima, 37 pounds down, loving the bee life, and I want the bee in there because as Ashanti was saying, even her brain was like, no, more is more. And, I think it's scary, and it's a skill to learn to sit and not chase. And that's literally we did this little thing on New Year's Eve. We did vision boards, and then we always burn away in this little dish. We burn away 3 words that we want to drop in 2023. So I like this idea as well. Put in the chat 3 words you're going to drop
this year. And one of mine was need, right? Because I felt like I want to stop feeling need. You're right. Like I don't want to chase. I want to be, right? And not feel need. So that was one of my big ones. And I think it's very much a skill, guys, to learn to not be afraid to get a B. We're all like, that perfectionism will kill you. It's the all or nothing, on or off, in or out, that kills us because we didn't do it X. And then the brain says, oh, well, then you failed and you're bad. And then guilt and shame get going. And then we're off course, right? So I want you to go for a B. Just keep it on that track. And don't be afraid. It's going to feel scary. Michelle.
Yeah, and
You know what else I think that we don't do? We are so hard on ourselves, right? And a lot of that is just learned behavior, or however you grew up, or what your parents and grandparents, right, instilled in you. But somewhere along the way, we managed to forgive or give grace to, the little 3-year-old that, took, the toilet paper and the roll goes rolling down the hall. It's like, you don't do that. But it's like, okay, let's just pick this up, right? We have grace and kindness for that. But ourselves, it's like, I could have, drank 40 more ounces of water than I normally would, which is great, right? I may not be hitting my, 100-ish, but I used to only drink 20. So now I'm up to 60. This is good. But we'll do that, maybe get up and not sit on the phone for 25 minutes. We made time to do everything else. But then we get to that one thing. I gave in with Sandy and the pizza. What happened to, I did great with the water for 3 days, in a row. I stopped being on my phone for 25 minutes. So now I'm not running and frantically getting myself all in a tizzy because now I'm running late every morning because I sit on my phone for 25 minutes. Like, what happened to that? So what? Okay, I had it, but I did these things great. Pat yourself on the back for the stuff that's good and not focusing on that one little dot, right? There was I'll make this short. There was a member who shared a video with us. And there was a guy talking about, he had this 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He put a dot in the middle of the paper and passed it out to everybody and told me, express what you see on this piece of paper. Everybody in the class focused on this one little dot. And they gave all this description about this one little dot, but nobody said anything about all the white space on the rest of the paper. Pat yourselves on the back for the white space that's happening. Okay.
That's like that story you tell, David, the Einstein on the chalkboard.
Yeah, I think that was actually Fatima who said
Oh
it.
yeah,
Where
Fatima.
he was teaching a class and he put on the board 1 times 9 equals 9, 2 times 9 equals 18. I hope I got my math right. 3 times 9 equals 27, all the way up to the last one where he did 9 times 10 equals 91. And all the kids were laughing that Einstein made this mistake. 9 times 10 doesn't equal 91. But he was like, well, it's very interesting that I got 8 of them right. And you only pointed out when I got 1 wrong.
That's how the brain works, you guys.
The brain works.
And if you can figure it out and learn to identify that the brain is doing that to you, you can very easily, I do this sort of thing I call erase the chalkboard. And you just go like, how is that helping me to focus on that negative thing? How about if I redirect my energy towards all the positive things that I have done today and live in gratitude? And then you can actually move forward, right? When you stop focusing on the dot or the one wrong thing, you can make a lot of progress. I think that's our core teaching here at Target 100. Yeah. I wanted to share something. I'm just going to share my screen really quick, and then I'll get you Ashanti too. That I put up in Facebook today, especially if you didn't see it. This was just something I saw, and I'm, we're all about sustainable, livable, joyful weight loss. And it said by Valentine's Day, if you did 1 pound a week, you'd be down 7 pounds. If St. Patrick's Day, you'd be down 11. By Easter, 15. By Memorial Day, 23. Flag Day, 25, right? And it goes on and on and on, all the way to New Year's Eve. you'd be 52 pounds lighter. And guess what, guys? New Year's Eve is coming. It's coming anyway. So you can do a horribly restrictive diet that you lose 7 pounds this month, and by Valentine's Day, have gained them all back and more, because it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't your journey. It wasn't something that you could live with. So I thought this would be powerful. I cut you off, Ashanti. I really want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, just piggybacking on what everybody's saying, that mean girl, that mean guy that just lives in our brain. And what you're saying, Liz, is just be mindful of that, because that's the way that our brain works. We down ourselves more than gratitude has to be a practice, right? Because it doesn't naturally kind of flow into our mind as much as like how sucky the weather is, or, how my thighs look as soon as I put on these jeans, and just be aware that like your brain is more used to thinking about the lack and being aware of what's lacking and what's not right than good. So it is a practice, and that is a habit, like creating a habit of being in that sort of space and being aware of that mean girl guy conversation that you're having with yourself. That is a new habit in itself. So, I mean, again, this course is all about habit formation, and it's so necessary, not on like just the diet level, but on the brain science level, where our habits are everywhere. Our life is one big habit.
I do want to make sure that I tell you guys, we are watching this chat, okay? And if you have questions, I've told you we have incredible expertise in stress, in lifting heavy things, in visualization. Every single one of us has lost hundreds of pounds over the course of our lifetime. And we're here to answer your questions today as well. So we're here to motivate and inspire you. We do have courses that are starting exactly a week from today. Actually, is our first course I'm teaching. I'm coming out and teaching a course next Monday at 8 p.m. I kick off. So if you are interested in changing your life, these are 10-week courses, all about everything that we've sort of been talking about here. I'm going to share my screen really quickly again. The course that you're going to see from us is around 6 pillars. Okay, it's not going to be just a food plan. We're going to teach you habit formation in the nutrition, the exercise, the hydration, movement, stress, and sleep pillars. And we're going to have 10 live online classes that you attend, and you get a full education. So if you're enjoying this today, this is basically our class, right? We do these very motivational, very educational pieces, and then you are connected all week long. So if you join us, you actually will receive a box in the mail that connects 3 Bluetooth enabled devices. So you're going to get a water bottle, a fitness tracker, and a body composition scale, all in this beautiful blue box that work on our Target 100 proprietary app that teaches you how to create your own program in these 6 pillars, because every single one of us is a unique human, and every other plan out there is just slapping a calories in, calories out count on top of you and saying, hey, eat this many points or these many red or green foods and just stick to that. And they're not thinking about the fact that we all are very different and we all have different needs. So our technology helps you determine how many ounces of water are right for you, how many steps should you take, how much sleep do you need. All of these devices work together, and then you get this live education from us where we teach you how to interpret those numbers. Because what I learned was there are all these amazing technologies out there in my 20 years of working, and no one knew how to interpret the data, right? They'd come to me and say, Liz, I got 7,000 steps. Is that good? I don't know. And then we start looking at the connection and we go, well, look, Jane, when you take 7,000 steps, you're actually sleeping better at night. So I think that's a really good number for you. And no, 100 is too hard. I'm a teacher. I can't leave and go to the bathroom. I can only get to 75, but I feel good. Well, then 75 is enough. So what it does is it helps you design your own program. So our 10-week courses are kicking off. And what you're hearing about this is that we're not going to just focus on food, because if food was the issue, none of us would be here, because you can Google search a diet, and if you could just just, if it was that, then why would any of us have struggled? I am a smart woman. You're hearing from these incredibly smart people here on this panel today. None of us, we all tried everything. And that's where my program comes from, is I tried it all. Like, I am you. And I really did the research, and the science shows this is about habit formation. This is about learning which behaviors and what things in your environment are cueing you into these negative loops, and going in and unraveling those. So up to 50% of what you guys are doing in a day is just habit. And habits are total rote. Like, you're not even there when they're happening. So we're going to help you identify them, right? A habit feels like when you drive to work and you get there and you don't know how you got there because you weren't even present. Up to 50% of our day is that way. So once we start to uncover those things, like the scrolling on your phone in the bed, you start to really uncover ways in which you can trigger new routines that create amazing rewards. So we're talking all about the thoughts that you've had in your head. They're negative. 80% of them you've had already, right? I bet you're sitting here on January 2nd going, oh, I don't know, and thinking the same thoughts around weight loss that you thought. The brain is a negative looping machine. So, really understand that you have to learn to identify that mean girl that we're talking about. And your environment is set up for you to fail. We're going to teach you about the fact that you're making 200 food decisions in a day, just based on what you're seeing on television, on your phone, walking down the street. And we are not built to withstand those kinds of triggers. So we have to have new tools in the arsenal. So in this plan, if you guys decide to join us, you guys get your box, you get the wheel, you get those devices, you get these amazing worksheets and guides, like I was talking about, the next 24-hour worksheets. Incredible. In the app, you have a 24/7 access to us, the coaches, and your community. You get a one-to-one coaching call, recipes, and your beautiful signature blue box. So just knowing this, I mean, you've seen all the success stories that are popping up here today in the chat, but these are the dates. So if you see these dates on Monday, so next Monday at 8, I'm actually teaching the course. It's Monday at 8 for the next 10 weeks. I will be there with you live. You can watch recordings of the classes as well, and several people do. So just wanted you to know we've got Ashanti kicking off on Tuesday, David on Thursday, and Michelle on Sunday. And we're all there in your community all the time. So who you're seeing here today are your foundational coaches. So we're all there for you. I have a very exciting piece of news. It is 2023. So if anyone wants to join us, the course is usually $5.99, but if you use code 2023 in the next 24 hours, you get $200 off. I know the coaches didn't even know I was doing this. So it's $3.99. So guys, all you have to do is go to the target100.com, target100.net. Let me say this again, target100.net. We're going to put it in the chat. You can go to the offerings page. It's called the Foundations course. 10 weeks, usually $5.99, is only $3.99 with code 2023. So that's your code, because we're all excited about 2023. So you guys, I hope that you will join us, because this is all about changing your perception around this process. Okay. So, it's going to be something that's a new language, to be honest. We talk about this a lot, is trying to drop that diet mentality, trying to enjoy this journey and love it the way that Michelle was talking about it. And these guys have taught multiple classes. They've supported each other in classes and coaching. Guys, what are your favorite parts about this class that you're excited about as you get the chance to have another incoming freshman crew?
I love the aha moments. I love it when participants are just like, wait, what? We're not losing 30 pounds in 30 days. Like it's week 8 and I haven't lost maybe as much as I would like to because I was resistant and it's hard. My brain gets in the way and the mean girl told me this. So I had to, but now I understand like that moment where it like all comes together, where there was some resistance. That is my favorite part because again, these principles are just foundational and they're long lasting and it's something nobody can take away from you. It's not quick and easy. It really takes you to kind of let it seep down and do some work.
I'd say that's good. I saw that there were some questions in there, and Lizzie,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
getting
answering the questions around payment, guys.
Yeah.
If I know a couple of you have already actually joined, and we will give you the rate. We will refund you. It is a one-time payment of the $3.99, and that works out to $39 a week, basically. And those devices and the box and the book are all yours forever. People ask us very much around this. So no, you don't have to return those. They're yours forever, and your access to the wheel and your data and all the things that you will be learning are yours forever. So yeah.
So I would say what I saw a message also from Amy about consistency, and which is really funny because everyone struggles with consistency. And so what I'm most excited about is a brand new grouping and a community, because when I make a commitment, there was one of my clients who I had a one-on-one with, I made a commitment to be her her accountability partner, and it totally changed the way I would do things. So it got me back on track. So that, and also how, we start out with this information on 6 different pillars, and it's awesome. There's things, just sleep, why we sleep, and then why when we wake up we're hungry. It's not just because we're bored and we're hungry because we didn't get good sleep. It's because our hormones are going crazy. So there's so much knowledge in the first 6 weeks, and then we build to these places where we talk about emotional eating and diet mentality, and it feels like it's like a full, complete circle, awesome program. And I just love how we start small and then we get bigger, and then people start talking more and we start connecting with each other, and it just builds into this great, amazing group. So I guess that's what I'm most excited for. And then seeing all the names of the people from the past groups being here and being committed to themselves, it's what life's about for me anyway.
Well, and I'll say there was a method to my madness. As I said, I was at Weight Watchers for 11 years, guys. And honestly, I really wanted to take all of the best things about it. And one of the things that was always difficult was that people came in and you were all sitting in a room with people who had lost all of their weight and people who were just starting out. And there was this real frustration around this sort of like, oh God, do we have to listen to her tell them about how to count points again? Or like, they don't really get it. And like, so there was like this kind of, and then these people coming in new felt like, oh, they're judging me. And like, there was just like it was like a tension. And by having people come in together for this foundation course, all in the same learning mode, and learning this new language together, it creates this amazing, almost like I said, like a freshman class, right? Like a camaraderie of this support network. And honestly, the support is the magic. That's what I know from all the research, is that doing this on your own, you are about 75% less likely to succeed. So if you just get into a group like this, you just up your chances. It's great. It's so exciting. So I see a question too. Let me see what this question is. Allison is outside of the US, in the UK. You know what? Can you just send a text to support? It likely we'll have to try to figure something out. We don't really work outside of the US yet, but do send a message to our support and ask there, okay? So I hope that we'd love to see you there, Allison. Awesome.
You know what, I wanted to say one other thing, Liz, piggybacking off of like what David said about like a new group and everything, like just that's how you stay engaged, right? You constantly, there is no end game or end result to weight loss. I think that's another reason why a lot of us spin our wheels, right? Because we think once I get to that 50, yes, I'm golden, I'm great, right? But then we start to get comfortable and we backslide because we made it to that end goal. So now there's nothing propelling you forward anymore, right? You have to always just stay, life changes for you. The same way you got to that 50 and then you get comfortable, right? And then it's like you go to try to do that again. And sometimes all the things again don't work because now you're different. Yeah. Life is different. Yeah. You were able to, pack your lunch and prepare and do all these things because you had all this free time for whatever reason, but now life has shifted. And now some of that time is redirected to something else, someone else. You need to take care of a parent, you need to, the kids are at a different stage in life, things are going on with the dog and the cat, life happens. So you have to constantly be able to want to change your direction and your frame of thinking and want to keep, that goes back to that wanting to keep learning, right? And that's what I love about Target 100. Like so many diets I did, right? Okay, some online thing that was just like, you never checked in with anybody. You never saw them. I would log on, right? But they give you this plan. Just follow this. Mm-hmm. Okay. There was no explanation to it, no rhyme or reason, no understanding of it. It was just given to you. How long do you possibly follow it? Depends on the type of person that you are, right? Yeah. But I much rather value the journey and having the things that will make me curious about why this happened. Well, when I did this, this happened. And that's what Target 100 does for you with all of the tools, along with the community, along with the coaching support, and then along with you understanding the brain science behind things. Because again, like Liz said, if somebody could just gave it to you, what does all that mean? Why am I eating this? Why do I do this? Why do you have me monitor my sleep? What does that mean? Why?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's the biggest piece here is, each of us, we're looking at you going, okay, I'm down 65 pounds and, you've lost over 50 pounds many times, right? We all, each of us on this screen, each of us in this chat have all gone up and down, in and out. And that's the thing is, I think even that the idea, I think there is a lot of negative talk and I even want to remove the idea that somehow we backslid. I love where you went, Michelle. Like, I think that's it, is people are like, oh, and then I backslid and I got lazy and I stopped doing. I don't believe in that at all. Like, I think that COVID was the greatest example of that, of like, you had a life, you were going along and you were doing this and you were going to work like that and the kids were going to school and, or you had this, you had that. And then everything changed. And a lot of people gained a lot of weight, right, during that time, because every single thing in their life changed and they didn't have a strategy around how to address the things that had changed. Like, I lost all my steps. I used to take 20,000 steps a day and now I'm down to 3,000 and I'm starting to gain weight, right? But I knew this because I had the data showing me, oh my God, what a crazy shift that's been. Let me rebuild it carefully. Let me go from 3,000 to 4,000, 4,000. Right now, I regularly am well over 10,000 again, but it took time for me to. So even if you've lost and regained weight, guys, drop the negativity around it. It was a shift in your lifestyle. You didn't have the skills that we're going to now hand you, or the worksheets or the tools to be able to identify, oh, wow, the season changed and I don't like that breakfast anymore. And I lost my workout because now it's pitch black at 4:00. And oh my God, you just thought like something's wrong with me. I'm broken. I'm not working out anymore in the morning. No, it's pitch black and you're scared to go outside. Like, it's freezing. You're going to slip on the ice, right? So it isn't that you're broken. You just haven't really ever looked at it in the truth about it, which is every single day things are changing, right? So I myself am still working on this day in and day out because everything's changing, right? So I'm seeing a couple questions about the discount code. Where do we put it in? So as you go to the foundation, and I'm going to ask Ann Tolpagan, if you're listening, to repost the link here in the chat for where they can go to the target100.net offerings page. as you work your way through to the payment on the last page, it's going to say code, and you just put 2023 right in there, and that'll take the $200 off. So great. And then Meredith, I saw that you were asking about the discount for all those people who are in Next Level, who are in our membership. You already get this discount, right? Because you already get the 20% off of the $499, so it will be $399 for you. So that is the discount for the Next Level courses. So anyone's in our membership already, so you already get that discount. So it'll be the same for you guys as it always is, that 20%. So great. So as we wrap up, I want to let people have their day back. I hope this was inspiring and motivating. Sharing just one last, I will say one last important tip, like that they can take away and do today. And I will share mine. Just go on in and do a little clean sweep of your environment, especially if it's kind of been creeping up over the holidays that now there are cookies or there are chips or there are, leftover things that tempt you. If you can, really go in and take those things and give them away or throw them away, because we're not magical humans that can resist seeing those things in our environment over and over again. Okay, so that's my biggest takeaways. If you can just come off of this and spend 5 minutes cleaning out your kitchen environment. Okay, Shanti, what do you think?
I would say pick one thing. I think if you've been trying to lose weight for a very long time, the traditional way, you may have lost belief in your ability. And sometimes we just need to remind ourselves that we can do it. And we just might need to start with one thing that we can win at, So if it's just water, or you just want to start going back to the gym, Tree said that for the month of December, she was just going to do 20 minutes total for the month in December on her treadmill. And I just love that so much. Like she just did and then she got, she's like, I did 5 minutes today, you guys. And actually I said I was going to do 5 minutes. I actually did 7 minutes because the song came on and I just couldn't get off I was enjoying myself. So just start small and win at that so that we can rebuild our belief. There's science that says that our belief is directly related to our results. Because if you have a little bit of belief, you're just going to take a little bit of action. And if you take a little bit of action, then you're going to get little results. But if you have big belief, which is where we're trying to get to, right, you're going to take big action and get big results. But you got to start it small. We have to grow our belief again.
Yes. And David?
Well, I said in the chat before, we were talking about when we burned away things. So I said one of the words I burned away, one of the words for last year is identity, because I want to be able to make conscious decisions and to decide how I want to be to get to be the person that I want to be. So I would say breathe and take a minute to quiet, to listen to yourself, to be able to put the work in 6 different categories, That's my little one. And, that was the big part that I wanted to say. Don't be afraid to say no.
Love it. Love it. Okay, Michelle.
I would say, just remember that this is all a process. All of it. Every single bit of it. It's all a process. And in each part of the process, you just want some progress. You just want to be better now in the moment, and then believe that you can be even better the next day. You do that, it's all good. Give your mental some break. Don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah, awesome. It's all a process, and we just want some progress.
Well, I hope that these incredibly amazing people have really inspired and motivated you. I feel so grateful just to get to call you guys my friends, because you keep me on track as well. And we are all in this process with you, you guys. As I said, like we don't ever graduate from this. We get to continue learning and continue growing. So I can Ann Tolpagan is going to post up that code. There it is. Thank you. There is the link to join right there. You can just tick right on that little target100.net. When you get there, you're just going to go into the foundation course and put in code 2023 for that $200 off of the course and the box. So it's all amazing. Definitely join soon so that we can get those boxes out to you on time before the class starts. Next week, we've got classes kicking off. So we need a few days just to get those boxes your way. So I hope to see you all there, and I hope this is the best year you've ever had. I'm guessing it's gonna be for us. Let's go. Drink that water. Cheers, everyone. Bye. Thank you.
Happy New Year, you guys. Hope to see you.
Bye.
It's hope to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy
New
New Year.
Year. Should old acquaintance